Ruritania is a small but beautiful country in Europe. It has lots of green trees in it, and it has many big, blue lakes, too. Lots of swans make their homes in the biggest, bluest lake in the country. People give the name Swan Lake to this place because of it. Next to Swan Lake there's a beautiful, big, white castle. A young prince lives in this big, white castle. He has big, brown eyes and long, black hair. He's 17 years old, and his name is Siegfried. Prince Siegfried is a nice young man, and he has many friends. Benno is the name of his best friend. Siegfried enjoys hunting. All day and every day, Siegfried hunts in the country with his friends. At night, they all enjoy coming back to the castle. There they eat, drink, and have fun at small parties. After Prince Siegfried finishes eating with his friends, he enjoys meeting and talking with many young Ruritanian women at these parties. Prince Siegfried likes these young women. All of them are sweet, kind, and beautiful. But he doesn't love any of them. For him, they are his sisters. Prince Siegfried's mother, Princess Marie, lives with him in the White Castle. She's old now, and her hair is grey. She's a very beautiful woman on the outside, but inside she isn't very nice. Prince Siegfried doesn't remember his father at all. Prince Maximilian died years before. The young prince knows his father only from the pictures of him on the walls of many different rooms in the castle. Not one of these pictures shows Siegfried and his father together. Prince Siegfried loves his mother a lot. But his mother doesn't love him back. She loves the White Castle near Swan Lake, and she loves all her money. She loves buying beautiful clothes, and she loves buying beautiful things to put in her castle rooms. Siegfried, my son, she tells him one day in her room, I have something to say to you. Yes, Mother, Siegfried answers. Tell me. Tomorrow you're going to be 18. And it's time for you to take a wife. A wife, Siegfried says. Princess Marie looks into her son's big, brown eyes. Do you want to stay a boy, she asks. Or do you want to be a man? Mother, Siegfried answers, it's not about that. It's about love. I need to love a woman first before I can make her my wife. Love isn't for princes and princesses, his mother says. Siegfried looks at his mother. He doesn't say a word. You need to take a wife and have a son for Ruritania, Princess Marie says. Then he can be the Prince of Ruritania after you die. You need to think of your country above all. That's important when you're the Ruritanian prince. Tomorrow night we're going to have a big party here at the castle. I'm going to invite 7 princesses to it. You can meet all 7 of them tomorrow. Can one of these 7 princesses be your wife and the mother of your son? Never. Young Prince Siegfried says. His brown eyes aren't happy. Never say never to me, my son, his mother tells him. She looks at Siegfried with her light blue eyes. There's no love in them. All right, Siegfried answers. When I feel ready, I can take a wife. I can do this next year, or the year after, or in 10 years' time. Why does it need to be tomorrow? No, Siegfried. You're 18 tomorrow. and tomorrow night you need to start thinking of taking a wife. But Mother Prince Siegfried begins. Don't answer me back. Listen to my words, my son, and do this for me and for your country. Princess Marie tells him. Think of Ruritania. Prince Siegfried leaves his mother's desk. Good day, mother, he says. Then he leaves her room. He runs up to his room on the second floor of the castle. He sits on his big, hard bed, and he puts his head in his hands. After some minutes, he walks to a chair near the window. Then he sits down on it. He opens the window, and he looks out of it at the blue lake below. He does this for many hours. His face is very sad. The next day, Prince Siegfried gets up very early. He meets Benno and his other friends for an early breakfast. They eat in the breakfast room at the White Castle. Then Siegfried goes hunting with his friends all day. They have a great time together. That evening, they come back home to the castle. There is a big party. The prince and his friends sit down to eat at a long table. They drink a lot, and they talk a lot, too. Prince Siegfried's mother, Princess Marie, sits at the long table with them. 7 young women are with her. They are princesses from different countries. After everybody finishes eating, Princess Marie gets up and speaks. Come here, my son, she tells Siegfried. I have something for you. Siegfried goes to his mother. This is for you, my boy. It's a present for your birthday, she says, and she gives a fine box to him. He opens it and he takes out an expensive bow. You can use this when you go hunting with your friends, she tells him. Thank you, Mother, Siegfried says. It's beautiful. And now Princess Marie says, it's time for everybody to dance. The prince puts his new bow back inside its box. Then, one after the other, he asks the 7 princesses, Can I dance with you? One after the other, the princesses get up. They take Prince Siegfried's hand, and they dance with him. Siegfried doesn't look happy. His face looks very white. At the same time, Benno and his other friends dance with all the Ruritanian women at the party. They have a lot of fun. Chapter 2. Next to the lake. Late on the night of the party at the White Castle, the 7 princesses are tired. After dancing for many hours, they all need to sleep. They go up to their rooms. Before she goes to bed, old Princess Marie speaks to her son, Prince Siegfried. Well, which of those 7 princesses do you like? Who do you want to take as your wife? She asks him. Mother, Prince Siegfried answers, I'm sorry, but I don't really love any of them. And I can't take a woman to be my wife when I feel no love for her. Siegfried, Princess Marie says, listen to me. These princesses are staying in our castle until the weekend. You need to take one of them as your wife. You have 7 days to choose the one. 7 days? Prince Siegfried says. Yes. You need to choose a wife in a week, with love or with no love at all. Siegfried cannot say anything to his mother. He runs from the room, and he runs from the castle, too. He needs to get away from his mother and her questions. He runs down to Swan Lake. He needs time to think, and the lake is a good place for thinking. Siegfried sits down next to the lake. The sky above him is black, and the waters of the lake are dark blue. Minutes later, 7 big white swans come down from the black sky to the waters of the dark blue lake. Siegfried watches them. The biggest of the swans gets to the lake first. It has a beautiful crown on its head. Oh no! I don't have my new bow with me, Siegfried thinks. He wants to hunt the swans. He watches the 7 swans, but they soon go. In their place, on the dark lake, he sees only 7 beautiful young women in long white dresses. Siegfried gets behind a tree fast. He watches the 7 women from there. They dance on the dark lake water. The tallest woman wears a crown on her head. She has brown hair and blue eyes. Siegfried can't take his eyes away from her. He really likes her a lot. She's very beautiful, he thinks. I really love her. In the end, the 7 women stop dancing. Sisters, the woman in the crown says to the other women, "We can sit now." Then, the 7 women cross the waters of the lake to Siegfried's tree. Siegfried waits and watches from behind it. The women come out of the lake and sit under the tree. Siegfried is on his feet behind the same tree. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't say anything. The women can't see or hear him, but he can listen to all their words. "Oh, Swan Princess, Princess Odette," the 6 younger women say. "Can we stop this, please? Swans in the day and women at night. We're tired of it." "Sisters," Princess Odette answers, "Big Bad Rothbart likes his swan women. You all know that. We need somebody to help us," the youngest swan woman says. "But who?" "Listen," Princess Odette answers. "We need a prince's help. I'm waiting for a prince to meet me, really love me, and make me his wife. This can help us all. It can end Rothbart's magic. With me as the wife of a prince, we don't need to be swans in the day. That part of Rothbart's magic ends. We can be women all the time. Also, we don't need to stay near Swan Lake. That part of the magic ends, too. We can all leave the lake and go back to our homes." When he hears this, Siegfried comes out from behind his tree. "I'm Prince Siegfried," he tells Odette. "And I really love you." The 7 young women in white get up fast. The 6 younger women don't look at Siegfried or say anything to him. But Odette looks at him and speaks. "Prince Siegfried, Rothbart watches us all the time," she says. "Rothbart? Who's that?" "He's a bad man and he loves bad magic. He takes young women from their homes, their families, and their friends. The waters of this lake come from their parents' sad eyes, people say. Rothbart's magic works on me and these other women. In the day, we're swans. At night, only near Swan Lake, we can be women again. Now you understand our problem." "Yes, I do," Prince Siegfried answers. "But I want to help you. Be my wife, Odette." "Oh, yes, Princess Odette," the 6 younger women say. "Please say yes to Prince Siegfried." Please end Rothbart's magic. We want to go home to our families and to our friends. Wait, Odette says. Only real love can end Rothbart's magic. Prince Siegfried, tell me, is your love for me real? Yes, it is, Odette, Siegfried answers. You are next to the lake, and it's late at night. It's easy for you to say that now, Odette tells him. Who is near us to hear your words? But tomorrow I can come to your castle in the evening. There, in the big castle hall with your family and friends, please tell me again, be my wife. I can give my answer to you then. All right, Siegfried says. My love for you is real. And I'm ready to ask you again tomorrow in the big hall in the castle, with my mother and my friends. But for now, take this and wear it for me. He gives something to Odette. It's a chain with a little picture of his face on it. Thank you, she says, and she puts the chain on for him. A black night bird is sitting in the tree above their heads. Siegfried and Odette don't see it, but it listens to them, and it watches them. Now it flies up into the night sky and away. What was that? The youngest swan woman says. Rothbart is coming soon, I think, Odette answers. Siegfried, go back to your castle. Be quick. Rothbart can use his bad magic on you, too. You don't want that. No, I don't, Siegfried says. All right. Goodbye, Odette. Goodbye, Siegfried. But tomorrow night, we're going to meet again in your castle. Don't forget. Of course not, Siegfried says. I'm going to remember. And please have your answer ready when I ask you again to be my wife. With that, he walks back to the castle. When he gets there, he goes up to his room. And there, he sleeps. Chapter 3: The Night Bird. In a tall, dark room inside his tall, dark house, Rothbart is sitting at his old desk. He's a tall young man in black clothes. He's reading a big book of bad magic. The window next to him is open. A black night bird flies into the room. Soon it is on the floor near Rothbart's desk. Odile, what are you doing here? Rothbart asks the bird. The bird looks at him. Rothbart watches it until it changes. Now a young woman with orange eyes and black hair is next to his desk. She's wearing a black dress. Brother, she says, I need to tell you something. Sister, tell me, what is it? Rothbart asks her. It's Odette, brother. Odette. What's the problem with her? She can't end the magic on her and her swan sisters with no prince to help her. And how can she find a prince? She can leave Swan Lake in the day, I know. But in the day, she's a swan, and she can't speak. People don't visit Swan Lake at night. How can Odette tell people about her problems and find her prince? But brother, Prince Siegfried is visiting her now. He lives near Swan Lake. He's ready to make Odette his wife. Thank you for telling me, Odile. I see. Prince Siegfried wants Odette. This is very bad, Rothbart says. We need to do something to stop Prince Siegfried before he can take Odette as his wife. But what? Then Odile tells Rothbard all about the conversation between Siegfried and Odette next to Swan Lake. In the end, she says, Odette wants to test Siegfried's love. She wants to go to his castle tomorrow. Then, after Siegfried tells her be my wife, again when he's with his family and his friends, she wants to say yes to him. I see. That's very good. It can help us a lot, Rothbard says. What would you like to do, brother? Odile asks. Listen, Rothbard says. He puts his mouth next to his sister's ear and he tells her. The next morning, at the White Castle, Prince Siegfried goes early to his mother's room. Mother, can we talk? He asks Princess Marie. Yes, Siegfried. What is it? She says. Can we have a big party here at our castle tonight? He asks. Of course, his mother says. But why do you want to do that? Because I'm ready now. Ready for what? Princess Marie asks. Ready to take a wife, Siegfried says. Really? Princess Marie is excited. Yes, mother, Siegfried answers. Thank you, son, his mother says. But which young woman are we talking about? Is she a princess from a different country? Or is it one of our Ruritanian women? Siegfried thinks of Odette, the Swan Princess, and of her crown. Oh, no, mother. She's a real princess, he says. Good, his mother tells him. Then of course I'm happy to have a big party at our castle tonight. And I want to meet this princess, your wife-to-be. Then she goes away. She needs to get the big party ready very fast. There's a lot for her to do that day. After that, Prince Siegfried goes with Benno and his other friends to hunt. This time he takes his new bow with him. He doesn't see the big black bird up in the sky above his head. This is because he's thinking of Odette. Odette is flying in the sky above Swan Lake at that time. She's a white swan now because it's in the day. When she sees Prince Siegfried below her, she begins to fly down to him. But then the black bird in the sky above her attacks her. The next minute, Odette begins her long fall from the sky. And at the same time, she changes from a white swan to a black swan. Above her in the sky, the black bird changes into a white swan with a crown on its head. After that, it flies away. Odette, now all black, and with no crown, gets close to Prince Siegfried. The prince sees a black swan in the sky. It's flying near him. He takes his bow and uses it to take a shot at the black swan. Odette goes down fast into the cold waters of the lake. She closes her eyes and things all go dark for her. Between the trees, Prince Siegfried sees the black swans fall. He looks for the bird in the waters of the lake, but he can't find its body. Where's that black swan? Siegfried asks. Forget it. His best friend Benno says to him. It's not the only bird in the world. Come and hunt some more. After that, Siegfried, Benno, and his other friends hunt more near the lake for many hours. When the sun goes down, Prince Siegfried and his friends finish hunting. Then they all go back to the castle for the big party. Prince Siegfried is very happy at the big party that night. He's in a blue jacket, and he's wearing old Prince Maximilian's sword. Siegfried dances with the young women from Ruritania. He talks with the 7 young princesses from different countries. But really, he's waiting for Odette. When is she coming? He thinks. Not long before 12 at night, the big doors of the castle open. A tall man in black comes in. His name's Dr. Wolfgang. Prince Siegfried knows Dr. Wolfgang very well and always listens to his words. All the young boys at the castle learn languages with Dr. Wolfgang. A young woman in a long, white dress comes into the castle with the doctor. She has a crown on her head of dark hair. Siegfried sees her. It's Odette, he thinks. She's here at last. The young woman isn't near him. She's near the big castle doors. The prince is near the big castle window. Behind him, the closed window shows Swan Lake below them. Princess Odette, Siegfried says. I'm here. Come to me. The woman near the door looks at him. Her eyes are orange in color. Chapter 4, Real or Not? In the castle hall, Dr. Wolfgang leaves the big castle doors. He takes the woman in white with the crown on her head to meet Prince Siegfried. The prince waits for them near the big castle window. He is very happy. You can see this in his face. When the woman in white gets near Siegfried, her eyes change from orange to blue. At the same time, down at Swan Lake, Odette changes into a woman. She has no crown on her head now. Why is that? She thinks. Then she remembers Prince Siegfried and his bow earlier. She remembers his shot at her and her fall into the lake. I'm okay now, she thinks. That's good. But I don't understand. How is this possible? She's wearing Siegfried's chain and she puts her hand on his picture. Then she understands. I see now, she says. This chain has real love's magic in it. It can stop a shot from a bow. It's helping me. Then she looks up at the dark sky. But wait. It's night now, she says. What time is it? I need to go to Prince Siegfried's castle, and fast. He's waiting for me. He wants to take me as his wife and to end Rothbart's magic. Then she runs from the lake, and between the trees. She runs up to the White Castle. In the big hall of the castle, everybody is dancing. Prince Siegfried's friends are dancing with the princesses from 7 different countries. Prince Siegfried is dancing with the beautiful woman in the white dress and the crown, the woman with blue eyes. Dr. Wolfgang is near the closed window behind them. He's watching them. Odette, Siegfried says. I feel very happy because you're here with me now. I love you. You know that. Me too, Prince Siegfried, the woman in white answers. But are her words real or not? What is it? Siegfried asks. You don't say much. Do you have a problem with me? No, I don't. There's no problem, my prince, she answers. Then Siegfried gets close to the woman in white and looks down at her neck. Where's my chain? He asks. You are not wearing it. Oh, no. That's right. It's down at the lake. I want to wear it when I'm your wife, but not before. Oh, I see, Siegfried says. Are you ready for my question then? Yes, my prince, the woman in white answers. Ask me. Very well, Prince Siegfried says. Do you want to be my wife? Everybody in the hall is looking at them now. Everybody hears Prince Siegfried's words. Yes, I do, the woman in white tells Siegfried. You can give me a kiss now, my prince. With this kiss, you can show everybody here, your love is only for me. Siegfried gives a long kiss to the woman in white. But then, outside the closed window, he sees Odette. She's there in her long, white dress. She's not wearing her crown, but she is wearing Siegfried's chain and she's looking at him. She sees him together with the woman in white in the hall of the castle. Her blue eyes are very sad. She runs away down to the lake. Wait. Don't leave me, Prince Siegfried says. But the closed window is between them, and Odette can't hear him. Then he looks at the woman in white next to him. You aren't the real Swan Princess, he says to her. I know that now. But who are you really? I can't tell you that, she says. But that tall man in black clothes next to the window can. He's my brother. What? Dr. Wolfgang? Is he really your brother? Yes, he really is, she says. Dr. Wolfgang is listening to their conversation. He goes to Siegfried and says, I have many names. For some people, I'm Dr. Wolfgang. For other people, I'm Rothbart. Siegfried looks at him for a long time. He remembers all of Odette's words near the lake about Rothbart. Are you Rothbart? Tell me then, where's Odette? Because this isn't her. No. You're right about that, Rothbart says. This is my sister, Odile. Siegfried looks at the woman in white again. After Rothbart's words, the princess in white begins to change into a woman with no crown. She has orange eyes and black hair, and she's wearing a black dress. Siegfried looks at her. I don't want you as my wife, he says. I want Odette. It's very late to say that now, Rothbart tells him. Why? Prince Siegfried asks. His brown eyes are on Rothbart's face. Because your love is only for me, Odile answers. Remember your words? Remember our kiss? Oh no, Siegfried says. And, with that, he runs from the hall and from the castle. He runs down after Odette to Swan Lake. Next to Swan Lake, Odette is sitting with her crown on her head. She's wearing Prince Siegfried's chain. Her head is in her hands, and she's very sad. 6 young swan women are sitting with her. They're very sad, too. You see, he doesn't really love me, Odette says. He loves Odile. Oh, no, her swan sisters say. Now Siegfried can't take you as his wife and end Rothbart's bad magic after all. That's right, Odette says. Siegfried can't help us now. Her blue eyes are very sad. Then Prince Siegfried is with them. Odette, he says. Don't speak to me. She answers him. You love Odile, not me. I saw your kiss with her. Odette, I love you, not Odile. But when Rothbart changes his sister into you with his magic, what can I do? That kiss was for you, not for Odile. Odette's eyes are big when she hears this. I understand now, she says. When I'm wearing your chain, Rothbart's magic doesn't work on me. He can change Odile into Odette for your eyes. But with your chain to help me, my eyes see only Odile. I understand now, too, Siegfried answers. Are things all right between us, then? No, they aren't, Siegfried. After your kiss with Odile, you can never end Rothbart's magic, I think. My sisters and I need always to be swans in the day. And we can be women at night only here, near Swan Lake. Chapter 5, Is Love Stronger? Please forget my kiss with Odile, Siegfried says. All right, Odette answers. Then Siegfried takes Odette in his arms. He gives her a long kiss. I want to be with you always, he tells her. I want this, too, she answers him. The two of them are next to Swan Lake. The 6 younger Swan women are near them. The time is coming for Odette and her swan sisters to change into white swans for the day. Then, 2 big black night birds fly down from the White Castle. When they get to the lake, they change into Rothbart and Odile. Odette, what are you doing? Odile asks. I want to be Siegfried's wife, Odette answers. You can never be his wife, Rothbart says. Not after his kiss with Odile in the castle hall. Remember that. How can I forget? Odette says. Prince Siegfried attacks Rothbart with his hands. He wants to kill him, and he puts his hands on Rothbart's neck. But Rothbart attacks Prince Siegfried with his magic. Now Siegfried's eyes are open, but he can't see. He stops attacking Rothbart. He's under Rothbart's strong magic. Take your hands from my neck, Rothbart says, and Siegfried does this. Next, go to my sister, Rothbart says. Take her in your arms. Siegfried does this, too. Now give Odile a kiss, Rothbart says. Stop that, Odette says. Odette's words end Rothbart's magic. Siegfried runs back to the Swan Princess. What are you doing, Prince Siegfried? Rothbart says. You can never have Odette as your wife now, you know. I know. But that's not important. I want to be with her, Siegfried says. Really? Rothbart asks. When she's a swan in the day and a woman only at night? Yes. Really, Siegfried answers. Brother, listen to him, Odile says. Why? Rothbart asks. Because this is all wrong, Odile says. I can't be Prince Siegfried's wife. What are you saying, sister? Rothbart asks. Remember your kiss with him earlier up at the castle. You need to be his wife, or I need to kill him with my magic. He says magic words. His big magic book comes from the desk in his tall, dark house. It goes to him. He takes it in his hands, opens it, and looks inside its pages. He wants the strongest magic to use on Siegfried. Stop, brother. Don't kill him. Why not? Rothbart asks. Because I love him, Odile answers. And because I don't want him to die. What are you saying, sister? Rothbart asks. Is love stronger than my magic? It is, brother. Think of my love for Siegfried, and for you. Think of Siegfried's and Odette's love for each other. Of course, love is stronger, Rothbart, Odile answers. Then she looks at Siegfried. Can you help me? She asks him. I can, Prince Siegfried answers. He takes his father's sword in his hand. I'm going to put this sword into your heart 3 times, he tells Rothbart. No, please. Not into his heart, Odile says. Into his big book of bad magic. That's the problem. She runs to her brother, and she takes the book of magic from his hands. Then she runs with it to Siegfried. No, Rothbart says. Not my book. The younger swan women come together next to the lake and watch. The sun is starting to come up. It isn't long before they need to change into swans. Siegfried attacks Rothbart's book with his father's sword. Its pages smoke, and the black writing on them goes. When the book has no words in it, its grey pages fly into little pieces. Then those little, grey pieces fall to the floor. Rothbart puts his hand to his heart. Odile, help me, he says. Brother, are you dying? Odile asks. No, sister. But all the different pieces of the magic from my book are dying inside me. Good, Odile says. She goes to her brother, and she takes him in her arms. Siegfried and Odette are arm in arm now, too. The sky is red. A new day is beginning. Do you love me and want to be with me? Siegfried asks Odette. I do, Odette answers. Next to the lake, the swan women are waiting for the new day. They watch Rothbart and Odile change. Their black clothes are grey for a time and then white. In the end, their faces look happy and good, too. The youngest swan woman is watching the sky. The sun is coming up, she says. We need to be swans now. But real love, the love of a man for a woman or of a sister for her brother, is stronger than any magic. From that morning, the swan women stay as women all the time. They can leave Swan Lake and go back home, to their families, and to their friends. They say goodbye to Odette, and they leave. The next day, Prince Siegfried takes Odette to be his wife, and in no time at all they have a young son, Prince Leopold. Old Princess Marie is very happy at this, and all of Ruritania is happy with her. Rothbart and Odile are both now good friends of Prince Siegfried's and Princess Odette's. Their bad times are behind them now. They often visit the White Castle near Swan Lake. Odile and her brother are very happy for Siegfried and Odette. They're also very happy for young Prince Leopold, and, of course, for Ruritania.